I know you've expressed support for universal basic income in the past in your interviews, but there's this guy, Andrew Yang, that wants to give everybody $1,000 a month with a VAT tax. And I think to win the Democratic primary, you got to do that. You got to give everybody $1,000.
I got a better idea.
You won't do it?
Nope. Sorry you came all the way from Alabama. All right, here's the better idea. Okay. Okay. And the better idea, I think, is that in a nation in which there is so much work to be done, just think about it. You got an infrastructure which is crumbling. We can put millions of people to work doing that. Transforming our energy system in terms of weatherizing homes all over this country, building a more efficient energy transportation system, putting more money into wind and solar and other sustainable technologies. We can create millions of jobs doing that.
But in your plan, the federal government gets nothing in return. So why is yours better?
I understand the spirit of a federal jobs guarantee. I think in practice it would be somewhere between highly impractical and dystopian. Because if you've ever employed lots and lots of people, you have to put a bureaucracy in place to employ them and monitor them. And then if they don't like their job or don't like their boss or aren't doing a good job and they're dependent upon that job for their very survival and you're guaranteeing them that job, then what do? And in real life, while it might make sense in the abstract, in real life you'd have a lot of people doing jobs that they either weren't a good fit for or are not producing real value or essentially doing make work for food to be able to feed themselves. And that to me is the path we must avoid. It might be well-intended, but we might as well just give everyone gray overalls while we're at it. You know what I mean? I mean, do we want to work for ourselves or do we want to work for the government? And if this is the choice we have, it's not about what would serve our government, it's what would serve ourselves. We are the owners and shareholders of the society. It's our wealth, and we should be able to decide what we want to do with it.
You need well-educated, well-trained, well-paid child care workers. We need many of them. We need more doctors in rural areas and in urban areas. We need more nurses. We have a dental crisis all over this country. We need to train dentists and get them out there. We need more social workers. You want to reform our criminal justice system? Well, you're going to need people to start working with prisoners. You want kids not dropping out of high school? You're going to need mentors working with them. There is an enormous amount of work to be done.
You know what's fantastic is I really haven't gotten this objection that much around the country. And because Americans know that we like to work and that the people that if you gave people $1,000 a month, people would probably work as much or more. And the numbers bear that out. There are two groups of people that work less if you give them $1,000 a month. And those two groups are new mothers who spend more time with their children and teenagers who spend more time in high school and graduate at higher levels. And I don't think we're mad at either of those. Everyone else works as much or more. And if you have $1,000 a month, it would end up circulating in our economy and creating more work in our communities. The other big thing is I talk about my wife a fair amount. My wife is with our two boys right now, one of whom is autistic. And what does the market value her work at every day? 0. What does GDP value her work at? 0. And so putting $1,000 a month into people's hands doesn't keep us from working. Oftentimes it ends up recognizing the work that we are already doing that is going completely ignored in our market economy every day. And if the Democratic Party is going to talk about empowering women, I'm going to suggest that there's nothing better we could do than put $1,000 a month into everyone's hands, because that would help millions of American women improve their situations from exploitative and abusive jobs and relationships. So the Democratic Party can talk about empowering women, or we can do something about it, and I think we should do something about it.
And what we believe in is guaranteeing a job in this country to anybody who is prepared to work. I think that's the better approach. Okay?
This is a sure path to dystopia, and unfortunately, that seems to be the direction we're trending. So I love the spirit of a federal jobs guarantee. If we could all magically have jobs that worked out and that we liked and that helped make the earth more sustainable, like that would be great. But in practice, that stuff is going to be very, very difficult and expensive and cumbersome and give rise to a whole new army of bureaucrats who measure our performance. Before deciding to run for president, I decided to try and talk to various political leaders about the fact that this is the core set of issues. And what do you think their responses to me were? Go ahead and shout them out. This will be fun. Sorry, go ahead. Wah wah. It sounds like you were in the room.